At last, the great ziggurat, temple of failure and regret.
Welcome you unforgiving bastards. Darkest Dungeon 2 Early Access is here and these are my impressions. Don't forget that game has just released in Early Access and has about 20% of content compared to full release that should come in a year or so most likely. So judging the game based off of this, meaning overhyping or shitting all over it, is baseless and pointless because final product will be much different. Consider this early access as sketch of final product. This video is done for vanilla early access version and first major balance update. First I have to say that I love Darkest Dungeon 1. It is my favorite indie game of all time. Genre that never appealed to me, but when game is so freaking good it breaks all thresholds, limitations, tastes and expectations. So when Darkest Dungeon 2 was announced I was really happy, which is a rare emotion of mine nowadays when it comes to gaming industry. So how is this early access from a viewpoint of Darkest Dungeon 1 fan? First notable difference is different perception of dungeon dwelling. Think of it as different perspective of point-to-point traveling. Instead of having base and then going from dungeon to dungeon, we have stagecoach that takes us through the wasteland. Very similar mechanical when you think about it. Stagecoach serves as base and stops are like points of interest in the dungeon. Inns serve as rest stops where skills can be upgraded, characters healed, items purchased and so on. Major difference is that players are now doing playthrough after playthrough instead of getting back to base after party wipe. Upon starting again, new team is selected of same or newly unlocked heroes. There are no permanent character wipes due to roguelike mechanic, instead you have playthrough wipe. Only thing that stays for next playthrough are newly unlocked skills for each hero. Skill upgrades are reset, but there is only one upgrade available per skill at the moment anyway. Another important thing is profile level. With each playthrough profile level increases. By increasing profile, new in-game stuff is unlocked, like positive and negative quirks, trinkets, heroes, consumables and so on. Profile level does not reset, so player always unlocks some new stuff, making each playthrough a bit different. I like this whole system. It is raw at this point, but it has potential. Which heroes are available is probably what most of you want to know. 9 heroes are available at the moment, with one new called Runaway. Cool hero that can play support role and is focused on setting enemies on fire. Now you might think immediately why only 9, to what I respond it is early access and around 20% of the game has been completed. There is no way they won't add many more heroes, most being probably from the first game with occasional new hero. World is structured great in my opinion. You choose a route that takes heroes through many points of interest. Some roads are more dangerous, points of interest have lots of diversity often leading to important decisions. Dungeons with 3 battles, road obstacles, mini-bosses. Decision making is now promoted to one of the most important aspects of dungeon dwelling. Most encounters can be modified through decisions. For example, a citizen encounter means dealing with friendly group of civilians. You can rob, help or leave them. Each decision affects relations in your party, which is new mechanic I'm going to cover later. Each decision yields different rewards. Party is on its last legs and you want to avoid the next encounter completely to reach in? Well, there is an option sometimes to do that, but it will reduce flame, which makes enemies stronger due to bastards being more powerful in the dark. On top of that, loathing, new mechanic, increases. It brings additional benefits to enemies and increases flame drain. Probably the biggest downside to flame reaching 0 is that tough fights can occur at any point with cultists and that bastard shambler who is still annoying as hell. Loathing can be reduced by doing resistance encounters. So there is always some benefit and downside in Darkest Dungeon 2, same like in first one. There is always that hindsight, what if I did that instead moment in combat and exploration. New thing added during exploration are hero shrines that unlock new hero skills. One hero is picked who can utilize the shrine every time it is found. Their chosen hero relives his past chapter by chapter, unlocking new skill each time. Sometimes there are unique fights that are fantastic, where hero is debating professor or hiding from being spotted while trying to steal keys. Each hero has these unique battles and I love it. They are done alright and aren't that difficult, but require understanding of the situation, which can be easily missed. Think game needs to explain better some of these. Next to shrines there are field hospitals, lairs, merchant, watchtowers and other points of interest. Never have I felt bored or that runs felt similar thanks to good diversity even in this very early access. Next noticeable difference are upgraded visuals, mainly animations. God damn, they are good. Animations are to me one of the most important things in any game because when properly done it can add so much to immersion and feedback to everything controlled character is doing. Way more important than graphical details and textures. In Darkest Dungeon 2 they are glorious, exactly what I wanted to see. Mentioning artwork is redundant. You have eyes, right? Well, use them then to appreciate artistic masterpiece. Don't need to add anything more here. Enemies, locations, world characters, everything looks fantastic. Same goes for audio work, just brilliant. Background music, sound effects, Wayne's lines. Atmosphere is even better in this one because of perspective change. Leading stagecoach into the unknown with obstacles along the way creates new dynamic and sense of dread. Can't pinpoint every reason why, but feeling of hopelessness is greater than ever. Visual and audio work is 10 out of 10 for me. Combat is pretty much the same as Darkest Dungeon 1, which is a good thing. There are new mechanics though that make it more interesting than ever before. Major new mechanic are relationships, which are a good idea, but a lot more tweaking is needed. Almost every action, be it in combat or randomly on the road, can affect relations between characters positively or negatively. For example, by healing or reducing stress, it can build positive affinity between healer and character being healed. However, another character might get angry for being ignored. Some relation triggers make sense, but some don't. Kill stealing is frowned upon for some reason and it makes no sense. We are battling hordes of enemies and someone is pissed that certain enemy he or she damaged has been killed by another party member. Stupid. Especially because that same situation sometimes triggers positive affinity. No logic. There are many examples like this, and devs need to figure out something to make it less RNG and more sensical. Positive and negative relationships trigger actions during combat that add buffs, debuffs, additional attacks, heal resists and others. They trigger all the time, which can be annoying a bit. I would reduce occurrence frequency because it breaks action rhythm. Skills have been reworked to some extent, even though most remain similar. Combo modifier has been added that leads to potentially powerful combinations. Combo modifier improves some skills. For example, Grave Robber can throw knives with plus 50% crit chance if target has the modifier. I like this addition a lot. Not much else to say about combat except that it's still fantastic. Balancing is different story, but it is early access and I have utmost confidence in Red Hook Studios to deal with some issues since we have a long way to go to. Vanilla version and new version are vastly different. Vanilla was way easier and more fun, while new version is not as fun due to too many stress issues. It builds up way too fast and you can only heal it if it is at 5 or above. Some heroes thankfully have the ability to heal themselves from stress, even when below 5, and those are very important, even though it can be only applied on themselves. Not saying game is impossible to beat like this. I did beat Act 1 on newest patch, but didn't have as much fun as before. More balanced game, something between vanilla and this version could be ideal. I love the game nonetheless. It has more potential than first one, but we'll see if Red Hook can produce another legendary product when all is said and done. From this small part of the game I can safely say they know what they are doing. Darkest Dungeon 1 in early access was far from the game that is today, and there is no reason to think second one won't be improved in the same way. Thanks for watching and see you soon.